This presentation topic is holistic pedagogies from an advanced writing course about listening, speaking, and reading for writing, which means we will have to integrate four abilities when learning English, and we can interactively apply these four skills. So this study provides a series of pedagogies conducted in an advanced writing course of senior English majors at a national university in southern Taiwan. And the meaning of holistic approaches means to integrate four abilities when teaching and learning English in class. So based on the series proposed by Mauricia in 1991, a linear acquisition sequence of skills of listening, speaking, reading, and writing has led curriculum designers and language educators to introduce these four types of language. And this is different from the natural order hypothesis of Stephen Krashen in USC. The introduction of this study. During the last 2 decades, a holistic approach has gained prominence in studies of the second language acquisition. One central importance is the holistic approach in which the four skills of a language, for example, listening, speaking, reading, and writing, were regarded as the whole, which is mutually exclusive with an atomistic approach to language. And the interpretation for atomistic approach of language functioning means that the language can be described as the metaphor of atom. The atom is a basic unit of matter consisting of a dense central nucleus surrounded by a cloud of negatively charged electrons. Hence, based on the different components of the person's language proficiencies as well as the diverse type of electrons around an atom, the language productions can be created through a certain level as well as the holistic displaying of a person's language proficiency. This displaying of language level must closely related to all types of language proficiencies, as well as all matters in an atom. So although a holistic approach as well as the integrative method might have different forces from an atomistic approach, a growing number of language educators and scholars attribute greater importance to a holistic approach. So the definition of the holistic pedagogy can be defined in either a simple way or a rather complex one. According to Douglas Brown in 2001, he defines a holistic approach as the one which aids students in integrating multiple dimensions of language skills, contending that the integration of the four skills appears to be the only possible approach in the theoretical framework of communication and interaction. As it can be seen, the definition of holistic teaching traditionally tends to emphasize the integrative type of teaching and learning with four skills, including speaking, listening, reading, and writing. According to Schiller in 2007, however, from a more contemporary aspect, the whole person's intellectual, physical, social, emotional, spiritual, and environmental factors might be much more significant than the intellectual way of knowing that the teacher offers the learners. In Schiller's terms, holistic teaching and learning should take more psychological components into consideration, such as Stephen Krashen's concern of emotional blocks, which is termed as affective filter. According to Blanton in 1992, as described by Blanton in 1992, a whole language approach integrates language and content, thus helping students may waste their time by focusing on one type of language and related language skills. In the same vein, Douglas Brown in 2001 suggests that the use of one type of language skill reinforces another, such as writing and reading as well as speaking and listening, introducing various types of instruction which can foster integrative skills, like content-based instruction, scene-based instruction, experimental learning, and the episode hypothesis, the text-based teaching, all include various types of skills. So the research question of this study is, how effective did learners evaluate the holistic approach? And how much the advanced level learners can improve after the treatment of the holistic type of pedagogies. In other words, this study aimed to discover to what level the learners of Taiwan would like to accept the updated type of teaching. On the other hand, we would like to know if the holistic teaching would contribute to develop the advanced level learner space in improving their composing ability as well as their writing ability. An assumption of this study is that the student would support the holistic type of pedagogies applied in the teaching course. The student might not cooperate with the updated pedagogies and answer the survey question because they were not willing to interact and make any presentation in English, which were not traditional type of examinations. The methodology is based on the Sales Morica statement. He mentioned in the field of ESL teaching and learning, a linear acquisition sequence of 4 skills is the firstly, listening, secondly, speaking, thirdly, reading, and fourthly, writing. They have guided most pedagogies' instruction, these 4 skills. In order to strengthen second language learners' writing competence, the order of the 4 skills for integrating prosperity of English have to be followed in order to well organize the effective pedagogies in the writing class. The methodology, the writing itinerary should not only involve the teacher's professional instruction of writing, but also it should include training for listening, speaking, and reading proficiencies as well. So through reviewing these 4 skills of English, the last skill as well as the most complicated skill, writing, should be constructed. based on the integrative skills. Writing expertise can be accomplished in a more effectual and well-organized system if a lecturer can follow his sequence of the linear acquisition. The research setting of this study includes 16 English majors in the Department of Foreign Languages and Literature took their advanced writing course for 18 weeks in a semester. In this class, there are 3 male undergraduates and 13 female ones. One of them was an apprentice who retook his class since she failed the same course in the previous semester. 2 of the English majors were overseas Chinese from Malaysia and Union Myanmar, and the others were local Chinese students whose first language were Taiwanese Mandarin and Hakka, respectively. Listening articles on the Internet. The holistic approach applied in the first session was to help students to be able to listen and read at the same time through reading the articles on the Internet and the teacher's instruction and the recitation in class. Through reading composing strategies posted on the website at Harvard, Texas A&M, and the University of Southern California, the trainer vocally instructed the series of writing strategies to students. In a listening article on the Internet, with the apparatus equipped inside the university's classroom, the electronicalized type of teaching contributed to the smoothness and the efficacy of teaching and learning in the writing course. In this session, knowledge of writing about transition, summary, counter-argument, etc. posted in a series of free e-learning web pages were examined by the course members and interpreted by the trainer. The speaking with topic of TESOL. In the second session of writing course, the instructor applied a list of writing topics in the test of English as foreign language in order to carry out an activity of brainstorming. The course members were divided into pairs of 8 and requested to contribute their thoughts and proposals for TOEFL writing topics. The students were given guidelines, implications, and modification by the instructors when they met difficulties in critical thinking, grammatical problems of structures or pronunciation, etc. Reading the trainer's article. In the third session of this writing course, the students were distributed 5 articles written by the trainer, including theses based on topics of pragmatics, teaching English as foreign language, cultural study, and linguistics. And they were requested to comprehend the published articles in different levels and to give comments as if they were the editors of the journal institutions. Writing essays through reading trainer's work and peer scaffolding. The final section of this holistic curriculum was a program which suggests that the students should accumulate sufficient competencies in reading, listening, and speaking for learning writing. Therefore, the last few classes, students were requested to perform their holistic ability in essay writing based on TOEFL topics and based on proofreading the trainer's published papers. About the data collection. In this study, qualitative data was collected. At the end of the student's learning, the instructor distributed a piece of a survey sheet based on the holistic type of pedagogies that had been conducted in the class, and asked students to fill out their reflections through numbers. Secondly, the students' performances before and after the entire treatments of a holistic pedagogies were quantitatively measured. Their basic writing proficiencies were tested through 2 assignments of 5-paragraph techniques of writing. About the instruments for data collection. Firstly, a consent page with survey question was allocated to every member in the advanced writing course. In order to make the class member honestly and freely answer the question associated with the effectiveness and the efficiencies of holistic pedagogies, the researchers of this study did not compel the learners to collaborate and sign the agreement. Therefore, only one of all class members returned their survey sheets to the researchers. In addition, the second instrument is the TOEFL rating criteria designed by ETS. There are points of 6 to 0 for describing 7 levels of writers' achievements. For the highest level 6, the trainer and the rater of this study apply a range of 20 points to more precisely measure the learner's performances. The limitation of this study might be that some students cannot support the holistic type of approach due to their intention for traditional examination preparation. They did not fill out surveys collaboratively since 7 of the class members did not return the survey sheet. And the conclusion of the holistic pedagogy might be a bit biased, too optimistic for the students in the universities. The result and the discussions. The result of this study, based on a qualitative and quantitative investigation, the result of this study, based on a qualitative and quantitative investigation, both shows that the holistic type of writing pedagogies are important and necessary. And a positive attitude toward the applied pedagogies through listening, speaking, reading, and actual writing was found and declaimed by volunteers. And based on the qualitative data, 7 students expressed that through reading, listening, and speaking, they could make more progress in writing. And 5 students believed, especially for advanced writing, reading, speaking, and speaking should be contained in the writing course. And 8 out of 9 students believed that the 4 skills should interactively influence each other. And 7 students expressed that they could absorb the teacher's recitations for writing strategies on Harvard's website. And 5 students felt benefited from teachers and classmates' lectures in class. 6 students agree that 1 minute's presentation based on TOEFL writing topic was useful for making progress in their writing. And based on the quantitative data, Moreover, based on the performances before and after complete holistic type of pedagogies, the class members' scores in writing essay based on TOEFL topic reveal the effectiveness of the holistic pedagogy in this advanced writing course. In the middle of the semester, the student had experienced learning writing through listening and speaking. Their average grade of writing evaluated through criteria designed by ETS was 73 points. A significant difference in the second measurement after experiencing listening, speaking, peer reading, and reading teacher scores was with an average score of 77. The conclusion of this study, from the result of the survey questions, this study was revealed that the students tended to support the holistic approaches applied in the writing course. There is no activity conducted in the writing course and mentioned in the survey which were rejected by the student. All of them were supported by more than 50% of volunteers. Hence, this study argues that holistic approach should be applied in teaching writing itinerary, and also it can be accomplished through the Sales-Mauritius linear acquisition sequence. In conclusion, from the measurements of before and after complete holistic type of training, the class members' performances were notably different. This is the best illustration that holistic type of pedagogies for writing need to be included and even promoted at school. In other words, if we can teach through 4 types of